but always keep the connection with the people that's in your industry. Help the other person grow. Always make sure that you take whatever you have and show them if they're slipping or if they're falling off a little bit, or help them and say, hey, I got this for you. If they're in their ways already, that's fine. We'll say, okay, here's what I can do to be able to enhance. What I mean by that is that there's people that can be going through the same thing that you're going through. You just need to help them. You need to be able to help them in a way that they are not lazy, but they're go-getters with a business-driven mindset. Easy. If you have that, people are going to love you. People are going to care for you more. If anything, they want to see you grow.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Sam Dever Podcast, episode 138. In this episode, I speak with talk show host Rico No Suave. Rico's a talk show host from Chicago. He was here in Los Angeles. He is the host of the Rico No Suave Show. This was a treat because I had been on Rico's show, and then now he was on my show out here in LA, and we had an incredible conversation with amazing energy. To watch this episode, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@thesamdeverpodcast. To listen to this podcast, be sure to follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Here's my conversation with Rico. Rico No Suave.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Sam Dever Podcast.
Woo! Woo!
We're here now. We just teleported through the digital channels, and now you're here in real life. This is crazy.
Forget the Matrix, man. We here. There's no zeros and ones. It's only letters. That's all it is, right? I'm ready, man. I'm super happy. Sam Forever Dever, that was on my show.
Yes.
Now I'm on your show. We're together.
We're here.
We're here, baby.
We're here.
We're here. Let's go.
And really, I have to thank you again for going on your show. Was a wonderful experience.
Let's go.
You and your team do a fantastic job, just from a communication standpoint, from an energy standpoint, from the actual doing the show standpoint, to the post-show standpoint.
Come on.
Top notch, man.
Let's go.
So this is an honor to have you now in my neck of the woods.
Hey, your neck of the woods is nice. That's all I got to say. In good weather, right?
I have to admit, I woke up this morning, I could hear it. And I'm like, uh-oh. And I looked outside and it was raining. And I'm like, oh. When I was on the phone with you, I think it was really cold in Chicago at the time. I'm like, come on out to LA. It's going to be hot. It's going to be sunny. It's sunny now. The sun's out now. But I'm like, I totally led Rico astray on that one.
Trust me, I was checking out the Weather Channel. And I was like, okay, Mother Nature, what you did to me in Chicago. I'm coming down to see my man Sam Forever Dever. You got to make it happen. Next thing you know, I'm driving, I'm going through the rain, but look what I saw afar. Open clouds, baby, open sky. I was like, I'm on my way. I'm on my way to see my man Sam. Get here, dogs barking happily, just saying hello. I'm walking through and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to see Sam. The sun is shining, man. It was meant to be for me to be here, son.
Yeah, you always have such a positive attitude too. That's one thing. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you were telling us before we started here, so
yes, sir.
It's No Suave.
Rico No Suave, papa. Rico No Suave. That's what we do.
How did that come about?
Rico Suave is already taken, right? I'm a salsa teacher. I'm a Latin dance teacher as well. So people used to, call me Rico Suave because they said I was smooth with it. And I took the credit. I just said thank you, right? And then I was like, I'm going to come up with a show in my car called Rico No Suave because the name is already taken. I said, I'm going to do No Suave because so many people called me Rico. And then, they just call me Rico in general. And then say, I got to put No Suave on that. Because when I did that, people were like, I see what you did there. I see what you did. So being able to get the reaction was the best thing ever. But the Rico No Suave show turned into kind of like that car. You know how when you start, Amazon started in the garage, Microsoft started in the garage. I started in my car, right? I started in my car. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I was talking about relationships, finances. I was talking about I was cracking jokes about Mother Nature because it's bipolar out there, right? And I was like, Rico No Suave show, check me out. I'm going to be doing 3 times a week. on my way to work. So it was like 15 minutes. That was it. 15 minutes, people were tuning in every morning. Because what I was doing was I was helping them get ready for work. Or I was helping them get ready for their day. They said, oh my God, Rico, I can't wait to see what you're going to talk about on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I said, okay, take it easy. I'm going to be there for you. Right? And then next thing you know, my show just continued. I just kept saying, Rico No Suave, Rico No Suave, Rico No Suave. And then that just started happening. And then everything else just, there's more to the story, but that's how I started.
Well, we got time. So
oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
yeah, we're not a 15, 20-minute drive by. Like, how many years ago was that when you started doing the car thing?
Oh man. So I would say about nine years ago. So 9 years ago is when I was doing the car thing. And it helped. It helped out a lot because it helped me continue to be in front of the audience virtually. But then, of course, I will see them because most of the people was like the people that I taught dancing salsa or in the Latin scene, they would see me. And when they see me, like, oh man, that was a good, title that you had because you would say one thing, but it actually, I thought it meant something, but you actually twisted it and it was something else. So what I did was, of course, just a secret if the camera's on me, right? I say what I'm going to actually say, but not exactly what you think that I'm going to actually talk about. I twist it to be able to come back around so you can understand that there's a different side of the sentence that you need to see. And what happens is that people automatically, like if you say, you know what, man, my favorite burger is, I love turkey burgers. But you know what I like on my turkey burgers? I like lettuce, tomato, pickle, little mayo, and go from there. I said, okay, cool. Well, we're going to talk about turkey burgers. But you know what we're going to talk about, how those turkey burgers are going to come out? I like my turkey burger medium well. But you know what I like to add in there? I like to add a little bit of seasoning. But check this out. The seasoning that I'm going to eat with this, a little bit of Japanese seasoning. I'm going to actually twist it around. Have you ever ate a burger that was just so good and you didn't know what was in it? Now I'm talking about something totally different than he just started talking about the culture. He started talking about how I'm hungry now, but I'm hungry in a different way. And then start talking about different things about life, right? But not just the way you think that we're going to talk about it. Oh, if you had a bad day, well, this is what you're going to go through. Well, no, if you have a bad day, this is what you don't need to go through, right? These are things that people need to understand, that when I bring Rico No Suave, I want them to know that, hey, it's not going to always be smooth because I'm not just that smooth, right? It's all about giving you another option of what to think about. So that's where it comes from.
Yeah, it's almost like people like that raw, authentic relatability.
Let's go.
So
Yes,
when
sir.
I can't remember where I saw this, but like when people appear quote unquote too perfect,
Yep.
it's like they're hiding something.
Yeah.
Or it's just not attainable. But
Yes.
Rico No Suave means like, hey, it still sounds really cool.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, did you say no suave? So does he have no suave at all? Like, or what? Is that 100% or partial?
It's when they put on my good shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when they say, oh, that's Rico No Suave. I'm like, oh, when I say no suave, like, no, you're suave. You're suave. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. It's about letting people know, like, hey, I'm a talk show host, but I love to give you options. I love to give you things to think about because you never know. You and me could be saving people's lives. People that you bring onto your show or just people that you talk to. We get into that mode of happiness when it comes to what we love to do. That's what it is.
I'm sure you can relate. I mean, one of the best feelings as a show host
Yeah.
is, usually on those days where you're just like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this. I'll speak for myself. Like, I don't know if I can do this anymore.
I'm with you.
but it's like you'll get that message or that email from either someone you know or some, even better, someone random that's like, man, I checked out episode blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That changed my life. Like
Let's go.
seeing that. And it's like, it reminds you of the purpose. Like it's bigger than us, right?
Yes, sir.
It's bigger than us.
It's always bigger than us. That's why we putting it on the table today. Because, Sam, what happens is people don't understand we go through emotions while we're talking to other people as well, too. Think about the conversation. If you told me, you say, you know what, Rico, man, I had a bad day at work today. I was like, really, Sam? No, man, you can't have it that bad. Yeah, this guy just doesn't like me at work. I'm like, really? Maybe you should interview him. Get it out. Talk to him. I'll be there to help you. Then you're like, oh man, Rico, you just made my day because now I got backup. I know, man. I know that me and you could just be like, what is wrong, man? Who hurt you? Right? And it's like you get into that mode of not a defense, it's support. Right? You're like, let's go, man. Let's do this. Right? There's always a way what we go through emotionally because that can affect you when you do your show. You can go be going to work and you got to deal with somebody that don't like you. Who doesn't like Sam? Who don't like Rico No Suave? Right? And then all of a sudden you come, it's like, listen, man, whatever happened at work, man, it's okay. But as soon as we come here, it's like a passion for us. We love talking to each other. We love conversating with people. We probably see that through, we're more of a psychologist sometimes when we're talking about people, we're giving them therapy. We sit down and we talk and we're like, man, sometimes that was hard to get through. Like, yeah, I know. I said, well, let's talk about it. Talk show to talk show host, you know?
Yeah, and I usually say like the magic quote unquote happens even like around the 45-minute mark because people, you get over like the, hey, here's who I am, here's what we do, here's what we were going to talk about. But then like the beauty comes when like people just start to open up.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. It's almost like it's just a stream of consciousness. Like they forget it's being recorded. They forget about lights and cameras and all that stuff. And then you just get really connected with somebody.
You got them in a Sam Dever cloud.
Cloud.
That's it. AWS, baby. You got them in a cloud.
I was in the Rico No Suave cloud because I swear we started ours and I thought like 10 minutes had gone by and it was like, all right, well, we're down to the end of the hour here. And I'm like, man, that was awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about that, Sam, because that's how we become great. We want people to feel like, can you imagine you like talk show host on TV, the guests only got like 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 15, the most. Then they're off to the next guest. Do you know how hard that is? That is hard to do when you know that you have a great guest on the show and you want more. And it's like, oh, we got to talk more after this show. Because it's like, it's a good thing for ratings, don't get me wrong, because everybody, hey, who's the next guest? We got all these guests coming in. But for us to get deep into it, people love that. People love that, like, man, you guys talked about some things that I went through back in the day or going through right now. But I'm so glad that you guys gave us the information. You gave us instruction in regards to how to deal with certain great things, good or bad, right? For stuff like that. So that's why time fly by fast too. I like that.
No, absolutely. So going back to the car.
Let's go.
So you do it in your car for a while.
Yes,
what was that point when you're like, okay, I'm gonna take things up a notch?
All right.
What's the evolution of that?
You know what's crazy about this, Sam? There's always people that comes through your pathway and then they dissolve. They come through. Hey, Rico, I saw your show. I said, okay, what's your name? My name is blah, blah, blah. I won't say it. But my name is blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. But I will say the name of the company because it was a good company. It was a good company. And it was called Radio Éxito. So Radio Éxito was like, so éxito is like, hey, like if somebody says, they say muchos éxitos, right? That means that much success for you, right? In Spanish, right? And éxito was X-C-I-T-O, right? Éxito, right? I'm like, thank you. Thank you. I want to be on this platform. I said, okay. But the platform was only audio. It wasn't visual. So in my head, I was like, man, should I do it? Because I'm so used to being visual. I said, yeah, I'll try it. I said, yeah, I'll try it. We'll see what happens. It only lasted for 2 months. But I have to tell you that being an MC for like events, because this all comes into play, being professional, always having a timeline of what's going to happen first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, from a technicality standpoint, to be able to understand as far as what your manager, whoever's running that platform, is thinking, that all comes into play in regards to how to become a great talk show host when you're working for someone else. And I also used to, working on my own besides my daytime job. It's just that person came into my life to say, hey, I want you to test this waters. Let's test these waters. I said, okay. So Radio Éxito, I tested the waters. Check marks. X, red flags. Check mark. Okay, I like this. Nah. Things just wasn't right. It wasn't fitting what Rico No Suave was about. So that didn't work. But you know why it didn't work? And I'm happy to say this. My talent was so strong because of what the man upstairs gave me. He helped me deliver a message to the owner to let them know that, hey, I think he's a little bit too overqualified for just radio, for audio. He needs to be on TV. His face needs to be there. Not just because I'm used to it, it's for what other people have told me. And I'm like, wow, this is not going to work. So it split. But what happened after that? There's haters, people that hate you. There's people that envy you. I'm loved by a lot, but hated by few. Hated by few because I don't like people to hate me. I love humans. I do. But there's always someone that's going to be envious. But it's unfortunate that the person that hired you was more envious than the people that just watching what you're doing. So that took a turn. So I had to let my audience know, and this is how I knew that I was going to continue to go. Through social media, there was jabs. Oh, he's going to actually try to take my antics in regards to things that I've done, and he's going to try to do his own thing. It only fueled the fire in a good way. I like fire as long as I'm not being burned by it, as long as it warms me up, and I'm like, let's go. Let's go. That's when I decided, Sam, it's time for me to actually have my own Rico No Suave show. That's when I went to the government and said, hey, I need to patent his name. Hey, I need to start an INC, LLC. Let's go. Then I started letting people know the Rico No Suave show is going to start. That's when I had my former co-host, Valerie Malesio, who we danced salsa with, and we just had that personality. Boom, it started. That's when that happened, and I knew it was time because I was like, if I can face this challenge here of someone hating me and turn it around, it's on. So that's when that person realized that I was going to actually have my own show. And when they started seeing that my own show was progressing and started seeing me bring more and more people on during that time, the person was like, wow, I knew that he was able to do it. I'm like, wow, it's on. Let's go. I was nervous because in the back of our mind, we don't like people to be negative towards us. As a talk show host, we don't like that. Like, man, we don't want to hear all that. It was like, I got to see this guy someday. I got to see this person someday. So the more and more I started getting more people, and these are all of the people that I know, DJs, musicians, everybody in the Latin scene, start bringing them to my show. Everybody's like, Rico No Suave is going to be the next big thing. Y'all better watch out. He's hearing this. And I'm like, listen, I'm not doing it on purpose to hurt him. He did what he did. I forgive you. It's just that it just didn't, but it was just the way that you go about doing certain things. And that's how I knew right then and there, Sam, forever Deva, that I was going to be forever a talk show host having my own show. I was like, I have to show them through my talent that this is what it's going to be about. This is how I'm going to let the world know, not just him, but let the world know that I'm all about positivity. you bring negative stuff towards me, that's okay. I'll take it. I'll bottle it up. I'll even look at it and see what words that you got going on in that bottle. And then I'll just, you know what? I'll keep it there because I know that if that bottle ever opens, that negativity ever comes out, and if it affects me really strong, I know that something's going to actually happen with me personally, right? Because I'm so keen to humans. I love humans. I love people, right? I love to be able to connect with people. That's what makes your talk show host so strong, because you talk to them and you have that bottle of negativity. You know somebody got that bottle. But with that made me even go even further. I was like, oh, just keep that bottle there. Because if I look at the bottle, I'm like, it's on. So that's when I started my show, July 18, 2018.
Wow.
Let's go. Let's go.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
And also you can look at that moment with that individual also with gratitude, I think, because it's like, if it wasn't for that friction, and a lot of times we meet people or have experienced things to realize what we don't want to do.
Yes, sir.
And confirm what we really want to do. So
Yes.
It just was all part of the ignition, if you will.
Let's go.
For your show.
Yes. The fire, man.
I got to say this really quick. I didn't know you were a salsa teacher like that.
That's okay.
I may have mentioned this one of the podcasts. I did like an 8-week Groupon salsa class years ago.
Sure.
First 2 classes, I'm like, yeah, it's just pretty good. I got this. Then it just kept leveling up each week.
Yeah.
The final exam, quote unquote, with the teacher, like I did absolutely terrible. Like
That's
like,
okay.
I didn't put in the work like I should have. But no, kudos to you.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I've been teaching, man. I've been teaching for 17, 18 years. Yeah.
So the music and the dancing's really played a huge role
all day
in your show, and it sounds like it really got it going in the beginning stages.
Yeah.
With that network.
Yeah. I think, well, there's 2 sides to the story when it comes to film. When it comes to people that love to dance versus people that like to watch TV. 2 different sides of the story. For me, I wish they can come over and watch everything that I'm doing. They see what I'm doing, but their minds on the other side is that you have to pick and choose which ones are going to be like, hey, I'll take a look at your show, Rico. And many people, as I know, you would think like, oh yeah, Rico, we'll come in, we'll be there. But as you know, as a talk show host, they'll say one thing and then do another, right? But that's okay, because once we make it like that, big like that, then people are going to be like, there's another side of the story. People that was there for you because they loved a certain side of Sam and Rico No Suave. Then there's the other side that says, oh man, I'm getting to know who Sam Forever Dever and Rico No Suave. You know, us as talk show hosts, we got 2 sides to the story always. We got 2 type of unique people that's going to be able to flock to us. You know, it'd be nice if they both did it, right? But you got to take it as you go. That's what we do.
Someone just told me the term the muddle.
The muddle.
And as soon as they said it, because I talk a lot about, I think the toughest part's the middle in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So in the middle, at the beginning, when you're doing something, you're amped up, it's new energy, it's the honeymoon phase.
Yes, sir.
And then maybe toward the end, or when you guys reach a new level, like you're selling it, or it's that, but it's that middle stage where you're just constantly working.
Yeah.
And you kind of just stay there for a while. That to me is one of the, so they called it the muddle, like stuck in the mud. Middle.
Oh, I see.
So as soon as they said that, I'm
Okay.
like, so I'm relating it to what you're saying, because you're talking about those moments, like people who know you before you became something, then you become something.
Mhm.
And then it's a different story, but it's like that middle stage. Who are those people that are really supporting you in those middle stages, that have been watching you do your thing for a while and still tune into the episodes, still, say, hey man, keep up the good work. Like, I'm sure you know those people in your life.
Yeah. I think, it could be a revolving door. Right? It could be a revolving door. I mean, people at the very beginning that started with you and was there for you for like 2 or 3 years, tend to, revolve or to something that happened with their lives. And, you gotta build that revolving door to be able to, like, I know this might be Whole Foods, it might be McDonald's, but hey, I still got the same product. Our product is still there. right? When you're ready to get the right combo, come and get it. You know where to find me on my social media, So let's go. I think, that's why we're muddled, because we love what we do and we know that it's going to hit. You have that passion that you have that's just going to hit. And people are going to see that. Now, don't get me wrong. There's people like when you said, for example, and I can say this, now that I'm going to actually do like co-host the Catalina Film Festival, when I put that out on social media, the numbers are like this. Congratulations. Oh my God, that is awesome. That is awesome. How can I find out more about it? But you know what that tells us, Sam? Man, there's people watching us. There's always somebody watching you. Sam, there's people watching you. I watch you. I might not say that much. I'm always watching Sam because I'm seeing the things that he's producing of his passion to be Sam forever and ever, right? I'm sure you're watching me as well too, but we're so busy we don't get a chance to be able to comment, but we know that we see each other's work. That's what a lot of people are doing. They're watching.
That's why I got to throw the like every Wednesday when you post your show. I'm like, let me just throw them the like. I'm in the middle of something right now, but I'm going to throw them the like just to hit that algorithm. Like,
I appreciate that. And
likewise,
I do the same thing for you.
Yeah.
You know why? It's because not just to support because we're in the same industry. It's just to the fact that we have a passion of what we love to do. There are certain people that I watch as talk show hosts. And hopefully I'm not getting off the subject here.
No, you can get off it. You can go any direction you want.
Because we're talk show hosts, there are certain talk show hosts that I think is good. And there was some that people saying, you know what, Rico? You're better than this person that's on TV right now. What? Huh? No. Really? And I'm sure you got complimented as well, too, saying, you know what, Sam? You are meant for this level. Because there's people that's watching. There's people that's watching you. And I've saw this. I'm like, man, I was watching one of my favorites yesterday. I was like, what? Really? No. Really? And then I watched it. And as you're in this industry as talk show host, we start to develop a skill. We start to develop, there's things that we should be doing. There's things that we know that we should not be doing. And when you seeing people that's on TV doing stuff that they should not be doing, and you know that if we were in that place, how well that we would feel in regards to how far we would be able to take it. Because you put us on TV, Sam, it's over. You put us in that seat, I'm like, thank you, Johnny Carson, right? Thank you, Jay Leno, right? Thank you, Arsenio Hall. Thank you, guys, for the instruction in regards to things that I should be doing to be able to make that happen. And whoever your greats are at, right? Whoever gave you that, hey, let's get it. But it's amazing how you develop to be able to come out and say, you know what? Wow, this is interesting how I'm seeing that there. What do you thought? What are your thoughts?
Well, you bring up a very interesting point. I wanted to pick your brain on this because it seems like you're very you're very business oriented with how you run your show and the moves you're making and things. And I've been in pretty much just produce mode.
Yes, sir.
But I realize, and I've had people tell me, like, you got to be able to do the business side too. So to your point, when you do see certain people, and this goes for every industry, acting industry, talk show industry, entertainment in general, a lot of times the people that do quote unquote get to these higher places are some of them ridiculously talented. Yeah, they are. Mm-hmm. But there are some who may not be as talented as others, but maybe they had a really great business team behind them.
Sure.
Maybe they had those people, those agents, those managers making their press kit.
Yeah.
I had someone tell me this and they go, sometimes you got to be the one to knock on the doors.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to come knock on your door.
Yep.
And that I'll critique myself with this particular project. I haven't not. I've just kept putting it out.
Yeah,
Which is great. But then sometimes, especially in the internet age where there is so much content,
Yep.
you have to say, "Hey, I'm Sam Dever. Or I'm Rico No Suave.
Yeah.
No Suave."
Right.
So could you unpack that a little bit? Because I mean, you're hosting. Besides your show,
Sure.
which I want to get back to that too.
Sure.
But we got to shout out Chi-Town. You live in Chicago.
Let's go, baby. Chi-Town's in the house.
I'm an Illinois man myself.
Yes,
so
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, but you're doing these film festivals, you go to your website, you're open to partnerships and all that. Could you talk about the business end of all this and how, maybe just broad strokes, like how you approach and what you're trying to do in the industry?
Yeah, the business is simple. The business is simple as long as you're organized. I mean, you find the right players behind you, right? You find the resources, the people that understand your vision. That's important. You build a timeline for what you want to do. Timeline might not go as the way you want to, but build out and say, what do you want to do? Sam, what do you want to do? Really, I mean, I know you got this great show. Where do you want it to go? Oh, I want to go TV. Really? Which channel you want to? What you want to go? CBS, NBC? What you want to do? You want to go cable networks? What do you want to do? Well, I said for myself, I'm like, I'll start off cable network. I'm gonna crawl before let's go cable. Oh, okay. Then they start putting me on streaming services. Now it's like on Roku. And I'm like, well, I asked for something else. Oh, well, no, we're gonna put you here first because you know why? The internet is big. We're gonna put you here first. Then let them see your numbers, and then you get up to that part of where you need. Then the business aspect switched. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, everybody and their grandmother is on the internet now. I said, so let's go. Okay. So we go Roku. We go Amazon Fire Stick. Okay, let's do an E360 TV. Let's go. Numbers start going up. Okay, cool. Then you start building your highlight reels. The business aspects of everything that you do. Show what Sam Dever can actually do for himself to be able to say, I love to see Sam Dever. I want him to host my event. I want Sam Dever because I love the way he dressed. I love the turtleneck. That's his style. Let's bring that super sharp guy onto the red carpet. Oh, really? How about broadcasting live? Another thing you add to the business aspects of things. How can I get more exposure with being accurate as a talk show host to be able to say, oh, man, I'm in front of more people now? Oh, this is going to be beautiful. Instead of them seeing me virtually, now I can be in front of them now. Oh, my business timeline has changed now. Now I got an audience. Oh, you know what, Sam? You know what? We're going to put you in front of 150 people. We want you to interview, some celebrities. Okay. All right. Really? Let's do it. My timeline has changed now because my business is saying, oh, now I was just, I was doing good with great people that was coming on my show. Now they want me to interview this person. So your business aspects, everything changes now. Now you got videos or highlights of you interviewing people. Now you have, you have a resume. You have a resume saying, oh yeah, I did the Catalina Film Festival. I did the Oscars. I did the Emmys. I was with, they let me come and do an intern for E! Hollywood. Oh man, really? Okay. Entertainment Tonight? Oh yeah, I'll do that. Okay, cool. How many months do I have? 2 months? Perfect. I'll take that. Now what I'm doing is I'm building the business aspect of everything. But at the same time, too, as you may know, we're in the back end still doing all of the paperwork because we don't have nobody. We don't have a secretary. That'd be lovely to have a secretary, right? But no, we don't, because we have to come back in and say, I need to find time to be able to build this out and go from there. Agents. Always get an agent. Always get an agent. Always get an agent. You have to have that because those are the people that's going to always be there for you. Those are the people that's going to get you where you need to go. Consultant. You can get a consultant too. Entertainment consultant. That's going to help you with your business. It's going to, I'm not going to lie. English wasn't my very, great subject in school. But you know what was good though? Me talking a lot, right? I would love to be able to be public speaking. I love that. I love talking to people. But man, there's just certain things when you actually are trying to be kind of like, not like a lawyer, but putting things into perspective of saying, oh man, this is good. This is good. All right. The consultant will be able to put it in words where If you send it to BET or you send it to CBS or you send it somewhere, that formal document will make it so much sense because that's the way they read it. The way we read it, I can send you this right now. It's like, hey, you get me? Yep, all day, Rico. But then a consultant might come in and say, guys, no, I understand you got a talk show host. This is not the way it's supposed to be set. Let's send this out to someone else. So your business timeline is all that. That's what it's about.
So finding the right people that speak of the language, if you will.
Forget about it.
No, thank you for sharing that. That
Yes,
actually got a lot of the wheels turning, and that makes a lot of sense. And I think especially it's weird because we live in this age where we can launch our platforms and put it out on this stuff ourselves, but it's a gift and a curse in a way because there's so much other content being shuffled out there too, which makes me realize it's even more important to find those people.
Correct. Yes,
to
sir.
to be able to navigate you
Yes.
to these doors where if people aren't speaking the right language, they're not even going to give it the time of day at all because
Exactly.
they have no shortage of content.
Exactly.
So when they find someone that they say those buzzwords or whatever, oh yeah, well, no, we do need that.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
You know what I heard that a highlight reel was like a highlight reel for us to pitch. Hey, we want to be on the red carpet. Here's my highlight reel. 1 to 2 minutes, right? That's what was common when I heard it. I got onto a web, like a Zoom or something like that, and they were talking about host in LA. An agent came on and says, we only need 45 seconds and we'll know. Like, what? What? I mean, what do you want to see in 45 seconds? I'm like, what you going to say about me in 45 seconds? I mean, like, do you want me to speed it up? I mean, how do you want me to? I don't know. I'm like, how is that going to work? Like, how do you know that you want Rico No Suave? You got to say my name first, and then maybe you might like me, and then go from there and be like, hey, I like him, right? But what you going to get in 45 seconds? So, I was shocked. I was shocked because I'm sure that they get a lot of inquiries. But yeah, they get a lot of inquiries. So that's part of the business plan too. 45 seconds.
Yeah, that's interesting you said that because it reminds me a lot about acting. It reminds me of the famous, the scene where the actor comes in, starts with, okay, we've seen enough, like type of thing. Like, thanks for coming in. Well, and again, this industry, just like acting industry, we deal with rejection constantly. And it's not just, it's a different type of rejection too, because you get rejected from guests who don't want to come on or people that just don't want to check it out. And I don't mean that negatively. It just is what it is.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's entertainment in general, just being able to handle that rejection. So, I mean, is that something that you've dealt with? And if so, like, how do you push through with that?
I felt that what you just said to me. I felt it when you just said rejection. We take it with a grain of salt. It depends on who, from a guest standpoint, who you really want. And I know you feel that. Sam, I know you feel it. That's forever never right there. Sam, when I tell you, the guest that you really want, and you're hoping and praying, and you're like, please, whatever, to the guest gods up there, please tell them to say yes. Even if you wanted it for 30 minutes. Whoever it is, give me 30 minutes. We're going to rock it. No commercials. It's talk all day and let's go. But then when you get rejected, you think about it like, oh, man, let's keep going. Let's move on. Because what you're doing is from a talk show to talk show host, when they finally see Sam Forever Dever and Rico No Suave, and they say, they're like, oh, man, I should have said yes. Because imagine by you, it pushes us to keep moving forward. It pushes us to say, one day, you will be on my show. One day, I'm not going to talk about that you said no. I'm not. I'm just going to talk about that you said yes. You know why? Because maybe at that time, it was just not right. Maybe there's something going on through your life. Forget about it. We keep going. And next thing you know, the rejection is going to happen. It is going to happen. That's how we continue to wake up the next day and saying, I got a show to do. I got a show to do. I got somebody that we about to have a great time. We're going to forget about it. Now, the team or your members might be like, oh, man, we wish we could have got him. Yeah, but that's okay. Guys, we continue to move forward because this industry, it might be big, but it is small. It is small. And we're going to come around, man. They're going to see us. They might be in the audience. Like, for example, Chandler International Film Festival, big shout out to you guys. Sam, when I did that, I was like, man, Tara Reid is in the audience. Sean McNamara is in the audience. They asked me out of the blue, Rico No Suave. I say, yeah, that's me. I'm just here at the red carpet. We want you to do the gala. What? You want me to MC the gala? You know why people are looking at me directly? Like, yeah. And we want you to bring people to the red carpet that's sitting down, that's waiting for the tables before they go and eat. You sure you got the real Rico No Suave? Because I know there's Rico Suave, but you got the real Rico No Suave. They were like, yeah, because you were here already. My guy looked at me as far as, big shout out to John T. They looked at me and was like, you know what you got to do. My videographer, he was like, you know what you got to do. Let's rock it, bud. That's what he said. Let's rock it, bud. I said, give me the mic. Let's go. Got on the mic. First words came out. How you guys doing? They're like, yeah. I was like, I literally cleared my throat. I was like, how you guys doing out there? Everybody look. I'm looking around now. I see Tara looking at me. I see Sean looking at me. Now, I interviewed these guys. I interviewed them already on the red carpet. They know who I am, the whole crew. Can you imagine, Sam, forever, Dever, that you have all 150 people, VIPs, looking at you, and you're like this. How you guys doing out there? And everybody goes crazy. Yeah. Now, I'm saying stuff in Spanish and English. Now I'm in my head. I'm like, let's go. And everybody was like, I'm walking through in the middle. And I'm like saying hello to everybody on the mic. And they're like, oh, we love Rico No Suave. And I'm like, I love you too. And the cool thing about it is, the one thing as a talk show host, we pay attention to everything. We can be talking and we can hear somebody say something about us that's so keen. And it's like, oh, I love this guy. And I'll stop. Oh, I love you too. That's what makes us who we are. That's how we continue to develop our connection with humans, with people. And doing that, Sam, oh, man. Woo. Oh, man. I'm telling you, that was one of the most, surreal times as a talk show.
I got a visual of like a Clark Kent Superman moment, or we need a host. Is anyone in the house? And you just open up your sports, and there's a microphone just ready to go.
Let's go.
You just fly into the scene. But you know what? That's a brilliant example.
Yes, sir.
Because what's the famous saying? Luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Ooh.
But it sounds like that was a perfect example of you already did your work there, right? Like people knew you, they established you.
They did.
But when that moment came, you had no hesitation because it was just all set up for you to do.
Let's go.
But you had put in the work.
Yeah.
And then recognized that opportunity as soon as it happened to take action.
You know what's so crazy about that, Sam? Is that there was people that was there that I'd never seen before. There was people that was there that I interviewed, but there was people that was there at the VIP gala because it wasn't for everyone. It was for the VIPs. So there was people that was there maybe Friday because I got in Friday night, but the gala the event was going for 2 weeks. This was the ending part, the last weekend of the actual event itself. So I'm like seeing people that's probably been there for quite some time and they were being invited to the gala that I'm interviewing and I'm seeing that I haven't seen yet, or I haven't seen them on the carpet. And it was surreal. And for me to be able to make that connection with new people was like, wow, let's go. Let's go. It was a beautiful thing. Beautiful.
How did that come about, you going to the Chandler? Because I think that's interesting to point out. Like, you're willing to travel
All day.
and go play. I mean, look, you come to LA frequently now.
Let's go.
So how did that happen? I got to shout out Tyler James White, who's been on this
Tyler,
program,
yeah.
a friend of ours too.
What's up, Tyler?
Because I was looking at the interviews you were posting, I'm like, wait, I'm pretty sure that's Tyler.
Yeah.
Because it made sense because I know he was down there for his film and everything. So
I think he did Plush.
Yeah,
I think it was a
Adolescent Plush. I believe.
Adolescent Plush. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Tyler White.
Yeah,
Cool kid.
He's
man.
the man. Yeah.
Cool kid. You know what's cool about Tyler? Big shout out to you, and I really want to tell you this is that being a director for the first time, and I told Tyler this on the red carpet, being able to take that step and being able to accelerate that, and being able to know that what you just directed is on a big screen, take that. Remember that. Frame it. Take a photo. Look at it a lot. Because you're going to come back after all of the directing that you've been done. People are going to ask you, what was your first film, short film that you did, or film in general that you did that you're most proud of? This one should be it, right? Because this is the one that got you started. And also, you're able to be on the red carpet because of that. Most people don't go into the red carpet when they actually have movies like that. Not at the very beginning. You know, most people just, okay, it was shown, I'm going home. They don't have those opportunities. But I did, I told him, I said, Tyler, be proud, my man. Be proud. And go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you get connected with the film festival in the first place?
Yeah. So accreditation. You got to go through press accreditation. You have to get your credentials. I got connected. Big shout out to Ashley Bowers. She told me to send an email out to Mattel Patesh. Big shout out to you as well too. And it was crazy because I sent an email to their info and I said, hey, I was inquiring about coming and doing a red carpet and being a red carpet host. And, this is my information. They're like, oh, thank you so much. Took a look at it. They're like, you know what? We don't need you for the first weekend. We need you for the ending. I'm like, really? I'm like, okay. So I was like, okay. So I told my videographer, hey, we in Chandler, Arizona. We're going to go for that weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We come back Monday. That's it. So it was like, I told them that even before we got approved, because I felt the vibe when they said, we want you on the first and the second. When they tell you that at the very beginning, they're like, okay, cool. Then I talked to the organizer, Mitesh. And he was like, hey, Rico. I said, how's it going? I said, hey, just want to let you know that Ashley Bowers told me to contact you just so you know that I was approved from your staff or whoever responded to me for the first day. He said, oh yeah, no problem. Come on down. And we need that help for that first and, to that last weekend. I said, okay, cool. And that's how I got approved. So it's all about sending out an email and just getting accreditation, and they're looking at what you're doing. I did that for the Oscars, actually. That was in January, right? I think the Oscars was in January.
Are they March?
Is that March? Okay, what's in?
But there's other ones leading up to them.
Is it the Emmys?
I can't remember. I should know the
Okay,
answer,
so one of the bigger ones was in January. I want to say the name. I should know this, right?
Is it Golden Globes maybe, or
Golden Globes?
Okay,
there it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yes, the Golden Globes. I sent it out. They responded back to me and said, you know what? We don't have enough space for you to be here because there's some construction and things like that going on, but we would love for you to do it virtually if you could, or be part of the press. I was like, wow. That's all I need to know. I told my team, I was like, listen, we at least got a response back, and they said that they would love to have us, but we don't have time. I mean, we don't have space for that. So.
And it builds that relationship too, right? Like it's just going to be stepping stones. So I think that's good painting the picture. Like you're in Chicago. Well, by the way, Chicago's, you're in the middle of the country, but Chicago's the New York, LA version of the Midwest.
Yes. Yes.
Could you talk a little bit about being in Chicago? Like what that's like media wise? Because
media wise, it's okay. There's a lot of films that's being shown there, of course. You know, you got Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, you know, you got all of the great Chicago-based type films. And also, you know, you have Batman and all of that. It's a good attraction. Chicago is beautiful. Very good attraction in regards to that. In regards to media, there's a lot of filmmakers that's up and coming. That's really good. The film industry itself is thriving. And it's a lot of great filmmakers and also festivals that's there, but there's some different ones that's there too. You know, there's one that's called the Underground Film Festival where it's like scientific, but it's like your mind is somewhere else. Like, where are you? Right? Like, where's your mind at? Like a psychedelic type. Hey, I just took some shrooms and I want to make a movie, right? And you're like, wow, what is it going to be about? Shrooms. I don't know, right? And it's like, wow, like it's interesting how you see certain filmmakers, and these are things that I run up on. You got the International Film Festival, the International Film Festival, and then you have you got the Latino Film Festival. You got different types of film festivals there. So the media is there. It's definitely there. It's not as big, of course, in LA and New York, but it's there. It's there.
The giant sports market, obviously,
all
with
day.
all that. Yeah.
All day. Come on. Oh yeah. We're the capital. Go Bears, you know, Chicago Bears all day. And the Bulls, you know, Black Hawks, you know, and either you're a Cubs fan or a White Sox fan, or you're in between as a neutral, you're a neutron, where you wear a jersey with both of them on there, you know. So
if you had to pick one, who you going with?
Cubs all day.
Okay.
Party. I like the party. Yeah. It's just the energy there. The energy fits my energy there. And my father, of course, grew up, you know, watching the Cubs. Yeah.
So all my friends growing up were we're Peoria area, middle of the state. So you're either a Cubs fan or a St. Louis Cardinals fan. But when the Cubs won it, what year was it? Was it 16 or 17? I can't remember.
I think it was 16.
Whatever
16.
it was.
Yep. Uh-huh.
I felt happiness for them.
Yes.
Because they'd been waiting so long.
It was like 100 years or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so it was crazy energy in that sense. And I say this, you can keep the wintertime and the wind chill and all of that. But man, there's nothing like downtown Chicago.
Woof.
Like downtown Chicago is incredible.
Yeah. Food.
Oh.
Come on. I don't even say that much. Food is there. All day.
We have deep dish pizza and
I was just about to go there.
No, oh, okay, go there.
No, you said it. Well, so deep dish pizza, of course, you had it.
Chicago dogs.
Let's go. Okay. What do we not put on our hot dogs?
Oh, I feel like this has been talked about. I like ketchup on my hot dog. Eric, I think, has a response to this.
I think you are going to say ketchup, right?
Bingo.
Yeah.
So I love ketchup too. I just don't tell them when I put it on. You don't put, now, there's Maxwell Street. You know, Maxwell Street, like the Polish, Maxwell Street Polish and hot dogs, right?
Okay.
It's a staple, right, for Chicago. You go there at 2 o'clock in the morning after you go to a club, tastes so good with cheeseburgers or a pork chop sandwich with cheese, right? Tastes so good. Hot dogs, you don't ask for ketchup unless you want it for your fries. Now, the tricky part about it is you can say you want ketchup and wind up putting ketchup on your hot dog, but they would not put ketchup because it's all mustard. That's the Chicago. Now, the Chicago dog, of course, you have the relish, you have all of that, the onions, and you have it so stacked, right? That's like that high cholesterol, let's go to the hospital after we eat this type food, right? Like, yes, give me it all because I know I'm about to call 911 and just take myself to the hospital after I eat this. And I'll probably eat this in front of the nurse and say, hey, I'm here because something's about to happen.
There's a lot of passion.
That's a lot of passion. I mean, because when you eat that dog, when you eat that hot dog, you know what's going to happen, right? You know what's going to happen. And even with the cheeseburger, the onions, woo! onions are so sweet.
On the cheeseburger.
Come on. Even on the hot dog. It's so good, man. It's so good. I tell
I
you.
kind of want one now.
Yeah, you got hey, I have to FedEx you one. You gotta have one.
So I gotta get Eric because have you ever had a Dodger dog?
No.
Have you had a Dodger dog?
Yeah, I have.
Have you had a Chicago dog?
Yeah.
Is there a difference?
In Chicago?
Yeah, in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's
Yeah.
Midwest. He's Ohio.
Oh, nice.
Hang
Okay.
up there a lot. I know there's one of them like right there on the bay, kind of near like there's like that little pier right there.
Navy Pier?
Navy Pier?
Yeah, like there's a hot dog stand right there on Navy Pier, isn't there?
No, see, you're talking if you're talking about you might be talking about Maxwell Street.
I think I might be.
Yeah, you're talking about Maxwell Street because it's right there.
On the
it's right-
beach.
it's no, so it's no, if it's not on the beach, it was Navy Pier. They probably had something, maybe just a hot dog stand that was called Chicago Dogs. That was there. In Navy Pier.
Yeah, I may be confusing it, but I'm pretty sure we were on Navy Pier.
Okay.
And we went inside. There's like that little inside thing, and we went in there and got dogs.
Yeah, you
but
probably
I've had
talked the
dogs
Chicago
other
dog.
places there. They have dogs at the airport there.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the onions and mustard. That's my shit.
Let's go.
But Dodger dog is okay. It's very basic.
What is it?
I don't even know.
It's just a dog, and it's just a dog. You have to put your own shit on it. Like,
Oh, wow. Hey, well.
It's pretty lackluster, to be honest.
Dodge it. That's why you got to dodge it. That's why you got to dodge it.
Well, here's the question, Sam. You love a good dog or a good
I
brat,
do like a good dog.
but
yeah.
you also avoid gluten. Would you make an exception to eat your dog by having it on a bun?
I think if you're with the Chicago dog, it's kind of like one of those you either do it or you don't do it situations, probably.
We understand the diet. We
Yeah,
understand-
I am pretty
if you have an allergy, right? Understand the gluten thing, But if you don't have a diet restriction,
Yeah.
cheat day.
Yeah. And if they have an alternative bun, then absolutely.
There's no alternative buns in
Okay.
Chicago. There's no alternative
Maybe one day there will be, but no, they don't play that
there
shit.
will never be.
LA, they probably would. LA, they probably would. What do you want? Sourdough? Do you want wheat? Do you want?
There will never be. I could never. If you came back to Chicago, I could never take you to a place and you ask for a dog on wheat.
Like, I don't know him. I don't know that guy. Yeah,
Listen, he's just one of those talk show hosts that I know that we're cool like that, and I accept him.
Yeah.
Right. Only when we talk, but when it comes to eating, it's a different.
I can't take you out to eat. Yeah. Well, maybe one of your future segments out here in LA, you'll have to go
Yes.
get a Dodger dog or something, and then I don't know, just planting seeds here.
Yeah, we gotta see what a Dodger dog is, and I gotta ask them, what is this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I want them to explain it to me, right?
Yeah.
And then tell me what are we doing here, right? For sure, man, for sure. So
Oh, man.
that's
Well,
awesome, bro.
Well, that was a nice little commercial break.
Let's go, man.
So I want to get back to your current show.
All right.
You do a fantastic job. It's very organized.
Thank you, sir.
Could you, for people that haven't tuned into it yet,
Sure.
like, what is your show? What's the heart of it? Like, what is the premise? What type of guest do you usually bring on? Explain the show to someone that has no idea, hasn't tuned in.
All walks of life, baby. All walks of life. I no discrimination. All different cultures. And when I say all walks of life, people that's doing really great things for the world, and people that need to let other people know how to be aware of things. Right? If there's something that's negative and you want to put it out there, how can we turn it into a positive thing? Right? If there's something that I don't talk too much into politics because I know that can be in religion. But I know that there's religion within certain people's journey that has helped them become a better person or for them to be able to be successful at what their product is. Right? And that's a good thing. I like that. Hey, if you believe in God and you say, hey, God got me here. Hey, I'm happy for you. Right? If you're non-denominational or anything like that and you say, hey, I use my talent. I'm so happy that I was able to have this talent itself to be able to get me to where it is, to be able to help people and make people feel good. And as long as it's in a positive way, hey, I'm happy about it. Or it could be a debate. It could be something of a sad story. And it comes out. For example, I have a young lady, Elizabeth Ramirez, and she has moms that was affected by their children of gun violence. You're talking about a show that is very sad but powerful. Wow. Imagine having at least 5 to 6 moms and all they're doing is talking about how they're trying to stop the violence as activists, but how their loved ones were killed because of gun violence, lack of sympathy. And those things right there is like, wow, that's all walks of life that I'm talking about. Um, and then of course, most of my shows are hype anyways. You know, I love my shows because I love to be hype, man. I love to make sure people understand you only got one life to live. Let's make the best out of it. Let me talk to you. Let me expose you. Let you tell the world about yourself. Then I'm gonna throw some questions in there. I might freestyle too, right? Throw some great stuff out there. Let's have a good time, right? Let's have a good conversation. Because sometimes people are so used to formal, which can be, but then some people are like, I don't care, just ask me anything. I say, I won't ask you anything personal about your personal life. You know, I don't want to know what your doctor statements are. You know, I want to know more about why are you here on earth? What is your goal? What do you want to do? Let's go, right? Let's have a great time. And then go from there. You know, my show was 2 hours before.
Two hours.
It was 2 hours before. I did a show 2 hours with breaks of music. Used to love that.
People would come on and perform, or you would just
I had that too.
Okay.
I actually had a band come on and perform on the
Wow.
show. And it was so cool, man. It was so cool. I had that. And we had such a great time. I had like 5 to 6 band members. I had DJs on. Oh, man, it was so cool. But you know, something called copyright music. Had to cut that real quick. Because every time we tried to do something, it would cut. We got to restart. And we're back. And I'm like, no. But we had to cut it down to an hour. We got to make it a talk show. Talk, commercials. If there's music that we can play that hasn't been copyrighted, meaning by YouTube or by Facebook or anything like that, then of course we can use it. So it's more independent, which is cool. But yeah, man, that's what the show is all about. The show is all about exposing people, man, of good things, bad things, making the show hype. Let it go back quick. You know, I just had Fran Koppel on the show, the world's fastest speaking woman. Talking about a show that went by fast. No pun intended.
Did she actually speak that fast on the show?
She did at the end.
At the end.
At the end, she gave us a sample. Did you know that people can speak 603 words per minute?
I did. Now I do, I guess. That's
I didn't know that either, Sam. I was like, hey, didn't know that was going to happen. But she killed, well, she's in the Guinness World Book of World Records. She's just the bomb. That's all I got to say. But she spoke real fast. But the connection that we had in regards to what the show, it was such an amazing feeling. Because, you know, after the show, you know what she says? I got 3 more people that I want to have you on, want to be on the show. And these people are really big. I'm like, really? So it's like, these are people that will enhance your show. When you notice your show is that good, the audience want more. And that's what's such a blessing, you know, for me, that people want more. And I'm going to give them more. And that's how the show of all walks of life come on the show. That's what I love about it, man. So.
And you guys do once a week.
That's all.
Right? Can you talk about, because we've done that as well, and I know that is extremely challenging.
Very.
So can you talk about that process and
the business part about that? Remember we were talking about the business. The business part about it is that it's called a calendar. You book up that calendar. You put it all into play. You look forward to it. You tell your team, we look forward to these next guests. Just like we had my producers talk to you at the end, I do the same thing with other guests as well too. I want just for people to know who my producers are in the back end that made us all look good. to be appreciative. So they ready to come in and say, oh man, I can't wait to come back next week. So it's the motivation behind it, the business aspect, the vision. They see that. Then you come in and you have meetings and say, here's what we got coming up next. Here's what we got to do better at. Here's what I don't want you guys to be lazy about. You can't be lazy in this industry. You got to know that if something doesn't sound right, you got to say it. So now they're like, oh, yeah, I got to be more keen on that. I got to make sure I pay attention to that. And every week is a brand new week for us. Every week is a brand new week for me. Because every time I say, oh, I got this next guest coming up, oh, it's about to be on, let's go. And they're like, oh my God, I got another guest for you. This person has been in this movie, been in this place. And as you can see, the more people start coming on your show, the more people of the caliber that you start to have, the better quality your show is. Don't get me wrong. And please don't kill me as far as everybody that's been on my show that you are all good quality. But what I will tell you is this. When you start enhancing your show with people, for example, like Anthony Hopkins, like a Michael Douglas, like a Viola Davis, like Lawrence Fishburne, Denzel Washington, those A-list people, it's just that people just flock to, and that's just the way the world is. But then you also have people that may say, oh, the way you word how they're going to come onto the show. Oh, you know what? I got this eurythmic European musician coming on the show, and he played with Cyndi Lauper. They were like, oh, we got to tune in. Because that's what people are looking for. But unfortunately, when people do come and just watch the show because of you, and they're like, oh man, that's a really great show, Rico. No Suave. We love that. Sam, Forever Dever, I love that show. You had Rico No Suave on there? Oh my God, this is going to be the bomb. I'm going to watch this over and over again. And I hope you guys do. But it's just the way it is. The quality of people, the more people you start bringing on the show, nothing against the people that you did have on the show. Everyone has their quality. But once people start watching, they start seeing you bring in people that's not like A-list celebrities and start really seeing the quality of people that may help shelters, not-for-profit organizations, that people that have a purpose, people that actually helps the youth as well as adults and how try to keep people together in regards to how do we keep these kids from not being on the streets and keeping them to be able to be good people like yourselves. Like how do you do that from a non-bullying, anti-bullying? These are people that's coming on your show that people should want to see all the time. That's why the all walks of life makes a big difference. Because when people start seeing you as a talk show host, and you know this, everybody's like, oh man, I can't wait to see Sam Forever Dever and Rico No Suave. Because you know why? They're bringing that energy. They're bringing good quality people. Even if they're not A-list, they still got good quality people there. But that's what people look for. That's how it is.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that because it really is a science, the guest selection and things like that.
It is.
Because everyone has their own story to tell. Everyone has their own value. So I relate to you. It's not putting anyone down, but it does get to a point where if you are trying to elevate your show,
Yep.
You do have to look at numbers and reach and, hey, I saw this person go on this show over here. It did really well. And it's just part of the game.
It is.
And I mean, I'm one of those, I wish there was just unlimited budget just to just do it all every single day. You can
Let's
just talk and there'll be a day where that would be great.
Yes, sir.
To do that. But like it is back to that middle part.
Yep.
Because in the beginning, you're trying to get your licks in and trying to build it up. But now it's like, okay, how do you reach now?
Yeah.
And that goes back to that knocking on doors things and even being more put together, going for those bigger guests instead of just not like a quick DM on Instagram, which works sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like, all right, I got to put a press kit together and I got to say, hey, we've had this person and this person.
Yes.
This is why we think you'd be a good fit. And
Yeah.
be prepared. They may not even respond. So it's just how it works.
You know what, Sam? I'm gonna throw this question at you.
Sure.
We talk show hosts,
Mhm.
right? I'm gonna throw this question at you. Do you ever feel that each week or whenever you're ready to actually put your content out, that you have to you have to have a campaign or an outreach program in order for people to watch your stuff?
Yeah, no, you do, especially now, because there's, again, so much content. Like if this was 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, even that 2016 range you were talking,
Yeah.
it was like Joe Rogan and a few others, really.
Yep.
But now it's just so many. And I'm now realizing, yes, you want to produce quantity,
Yes.
but I'm also realizing, well, there is value in scaling back on some of the quantity and just concentrating on quality and being intentional
Yeah.
with it. Because we've done once a week for a year, and we've actually we're going to experiment doing it some other ways,
Okay.
being more of like, maybe one every 2 or 3 weeks, maybe now. Maybe we take a little more time, because I feel there's a lot of advantages to doing it the way we were doing it. Unless you have a team of like 20, then it's like, let's let them handle it. But I feel there's been a lot of times where we get ready for this episode, it comes out, you really amp for a couple days, and now we're already worrying about the next episode coming out next week, and you kind of lose. Maybe should have spent a few more days or even a couple more weeks pumping that episode out and continue, instead of letting it just have this one blast out and then it's. I don't know if that's answering your question.
It does.
But because it is, yeah, you do have to have a targeted campaign, because so much goes into this.
Yes.
It's not like we're just hitting record and it's done. Like, no, there's going to be editing. There's going to be social media clips cut. There's going to be a trailer cut.
Yes, sir.
We got to upload it to everything. And then there's going to be distribution. And then you are coordinating the future production.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do feel it does need to be targeted until you get to that point where you've got that following, where when you drop something, people are checking it out.
Yeah.
And that's part of the battle too.
Yeah.
That's part of the battle too. It's like you're not maybe competing directly with people, but you're competing for people's attention.
Exactly.
Because they have so many choices.
That's that program. That's that campaign. Vote for me. You know what I mean?
Pick me.
Exactly. You know what? I approve this message. You know what I mean? And I'm like, listen, this is how it is every week for us. Every Saturday, they know I'm going to blast it on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Everybody knows it's coming. They know my show is coming on Wednesday. Coming up on this Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. PST time. Here's a guess. Okay. Put it on my stories the day before. My stories, all my stories, knows who my next guest is going to be. People are watching, but you have to get them with consistency of watching. Even though you might not get what you want, and which we don't, most cases we don't, but people are watching. People see it. People are like, oh, really? But once they see your talent, it only takes that one person. Once they see what Sam Forever Derek can actually do and Rico No Suave, like, oh, here we go. Then all of a sudden you got people coming from nowhere. We're like, man, I ain't seen you in a long time. Yeah, I just want to say congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Now I need Post Malone to come and tell me congratulations as well, too. I'm like, I need him to tell me that, too. But this is what it's about. It's how it is.
You bring up a good point, because even if people aren't clicking and watching those full episodes, they're seeing you being consistent. And then finally, I mean, people might just crack, like, let me Rico No Suave. Let me check one of these out.
Easy.
Let me finally, after seeing it 25 times,
let's go.
Let me check that out. So yeah, it's a dance, right? It's a science. You gotta, and you are very structured, and we have our own structures too that we do. But it's good too for your when you don't have a giant team. Like I'm no one quote me on this, but Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett, which is arguably one of the biggest podcasts in the world. I call them the blueprint. Like this, their production, the way they do it, the marketing they do. They test 100 thumbnails each episode before the episode comes out.
Wow.
They're testing 100 Facebook ads or to see which cover performs the best.
Wow.
That's how detailed they are.
Yeah.
But it explains their success.
Of course.
And I heard upwards, I mean, you're talking team 40, 50 people. That you have a team that just does clips, like a team that just does this.
Let's go.
But when we do work with smaller teams, we're grateful for that, but there's only so much everyone can do.
Correct.
So
Correct.
it's developing those systems, like I'm going to post this on Saturday it's good for your sanity and your own organization.
You're like a robot.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, it's time. All right, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to put this out. There we go. The Jetsons, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm ready to go. If I put that out, I start tagging people. People are seeing it. When I go out and I see my people, oh my God, I love what you're doing. I see what you're doing. Good job. I might not comment, but I do see. That's one of the main things that I hear all the time. I might not comment, but I do see. I said, well, have you subscribed to the channel? Right? Have you No, I didn't. Okay, well, just pull out your phone. Let's just go ahead and do it.
Hit
right?
that button.
Hit that button, right? I appreciate the support, And then outreach. We just talked about that. Campaign. Somebody needs to vote for me, right? Because if you see what I'm doing, don't wait till I blow up and other people are giving me more credit where you've been here all along. The credit is there, right? You can't expect everybody to watch the show every single week. Of course not.
Yeah.
But once in a while, they'll check it out. And people say, oh man, I haven't seen your show since you started in 2018. I'm like, for real? You should see it now. It looks totally different, right? I got a totally different setup. I've been watching what you're doing. It's been great. Of course. I appreciate you. Check it out when you can. Check it out. You can watch my show once a year, as long as I know that you at least watched the show, right? But you got to get to them. Like you said before, it's a science.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to make one comment it's been an hour and 15. That's how quick
Already?
We could go for 2.5.
Come on,
We're not
man.
going to,
Come
but
on,
we could.
Man. This is crazy. This is crazy.
I think I told this to you on the phone after you did. I really think you're onto something with you do it live.
Yeah.
So people, they understand, like your first showing of the show is live.
Yes.
Which I thought that really opened my mind up to the possibilities of that, because there are a lot of advantages. Because what I loved about it, because I was sending that live link like as we were about to go on to a couple people ended up checking it out, right? Just because I caught them at the right moment at the right time. When you send them something and they have like there's like something to it, like, oh, it's live.
Yeah.
Like if they're free, like I'm free right now, let me check this out. And then boom, got them. And then you have it up there. If they want to watch it later, they can.
It's easy. It's easy.
How long have you been doing the live thing for?
7 years.
So you've been always doing it live.
7 years.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
7 years.
Wow, you were doing it before it was like trendy to start doing it. Wow.
7 years. Actually, if you want to count it, 9 years with the car.
So that was live too.
Live.
Wow.
All day.
You got to add a Rico No Suave live.
Actually, I got a flyer that says Rico No Suave Show tonight live, like live tonight or something like that.
Wow.
I like that. And I'm starting to build that too, right? I'm starting to build that flyer of saying Rico No Suave Show live. Make it look like kind of how like Jimmy Kimmel was actually doing it as well too. And it's a good thing, man.
Yeah,
it's a good thing. I love what I do. And every week, and even if we take off, a week or so or something like that, say, hey, we'll be back. And then people are like, okay, get some rest, enjoy your vacation, blah, blah. At least people are seeing it, right? They're like, okay, we'll see. We know how hard you're working. People are watching. People are seeing it. We might not get the response what we want right away, but trust me, you will get that response with people that's going to be able to help you. We're on a journey to get something bigger. We're on a journey of getting our own team. A bigger team, taking the people that's with us to a bigger team. I told my team all day, I said, hey, you guys riding out with me. I said, I'm not just having you just here, just for you just to learn just this. You're going to get exposed to a lot of people. You're going to get exposed to a lot of filmmakers. You're in this industry for a reason. That's why you're here with me. I'm not just having you just get here and just be stagnant. No. We're doing this for the big part because you want to be a part of something big. If you happen to leave, I'm sorry. That's all I can say is I'm sorry, because you see exactly where we're going, right? And if we're going towards that television, that cable network, and I'm showing you the progress as we're going, sending emails to the team. Hey, everybody, like every Friday, I send the team members their roles and also the next guest, the information so they can be aware of who the next guest is. They need to be excited. That's that business plan that we were talking about. You got to keep them on track. Let them know I'm about business. And this is about business. This is how we continue to grow. So when you come here, you know exactly, oh man, I can't wait for this one to happen. And then once that don't work out really well, it's like, oh my God, we got a lot to talk about. And it's like, it's crazy. It's just like that. So
I love that. And I really do. I really appreciated
yes, sir.
you introducing your team after I had been on the show. I thought that was really cool.
Let's go.
That you did that. And Rico, this has been an absolute treat.
Come on, man.
I mean, I'm so glad we were able to make this happen.
Come on, man.
We literally manifested this.
Let's
go.
Hey, it's like talk show power.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Talk show power.
Let's go, man. Sorry, Mike. I know how that feels. Sorry.
Did you have anything that you wanted to talk about as we round out of here? Any last mentions? I know you're talking about the future of your show, where it's all going. Anything else you wanted to say?
You know, the future of the show is going more towards TV, you know, and it will get there. We're going on 7 years, actually in July, right?
Congrats.
7-year anniversary. So hopefully you guys can tune in, you know, on that live segment. It's going to be a special show. We're going to have a lot of memories that we're going to actually be going over. Normally I don't have a guest for that. I do have sometimes guests, but for this one, I'm just going to do a solo with everyone. And you know, it's going to kind of be an emotional show as well, too, because it's 7 years. You know, we're on to our 8th year, you know, after July. I hope people can be able to tune in on, most people go to YouTube, Rico No Suave Show. And yeah, and just go from there. You know, I mean, the future of where streaming is and the future of where TV is and also where our show is going to be in film, as well too as a talk show on film, interviewing people as actors, as celebrities on their platform, on their show, right? In film, right? In a movie. That's where we're going, right? We want to be kind of like, you know, hey, a jack of all trades where we do live events and we're just broadcasting wherever we go. And we're getting more into that as well too, doing stuff live, making sure we have the right platform, building our technology behind it. Technology is key, right? The right people with the right vision and the right platform and being able to have the equipment to be able to go out there and say, yeah, we can do this live. We can rock this out. When they see that you can do something live, they're going to want you back. So talk show to talk show host, you know, of course, you're doing well and you have a great setup with Eric, you know, and you guys are rocking it out here, but this is just like, you know, starting from the middle, right? There's no bottom. It's the middle, right? Or muddle, right? Whatever we call it, the muddle, right? The muddle, right? And we're here. So my show is gradually growing and being inspiration for people like yourselves. That's the future, man. And, we want to go out like legends, you know?
I'm pumped up, man. I'm ready to work on my press kit this afternoon.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey. We're going to get to you, where to find you and final words. Eric, you got anything before we get out of here?
I feel like I'm on a like a Jimmy Kimmel right now. I got the side host there, you know?
Yeah, you guys are in your element with this conversation for sure. So it's cool to see both of you share your passion for your talk shows. So yeah.
Thank you, man. Yeah,
you can't have this
good.
talk
I love
show
that.
host.
I love that piece. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like you have another co-host, but he's multiple jobs.
Yeah,
you know.
He's like the fly on the wall, like the audience in a way. Because a lot of times, like I'll have the primary relationship with the guest, so he'll be like just the perspective of the audience, like who is this person? So like the questions he asks sometimes are perfect.
Let's go.
Because it's probably something someone else was wondering too that I may not have thought of because I know the person. Does that make sense?
Of course. That's the co-host aspects of things.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It's like you picking a brain off someone else, you know, and just eating it all up. I like it.
And like the hot dog conversation. We've had so many of those like just perfect moments. It's like the commercial break a little bit.
It's always food related to me. Yeah. What was that?
I love that, man. Yeah. When you talk about food, I'm all day with that. So
yeah.
Cool, man.
Well, awesome. Well, Rico, I'm going to give you the last word, but before I do, where can people find you? Where can they
Yes.
find the show? Where is
Yes.
everywhere people need to go to learn more?
www.thericonosuaveshow.com. Don't forget the .com, right? Actually, on YouTube at Rico No Suave Show. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can find us also. We are on E360 TV. So if you go to e360tv.com under the entertainment section, we're the first ones there. There's a lot. There's a lot there as well too. And then also, we're going TV. So E360 TV, big shout out to them. We're going over the air. We'll know more about that in June, right? In regards to being televised, as well as far as for the show itself. Of course, it'll be pre-recorded, but it's where you'll be able to find us there as well too. Best Ever Channels, big shout out to Jonathan. We're actually hopefully launching as far as with them, Best Ever Channels, The More You. And, we have different seasons that we're going to be working on as well. So that's where you can be able to find us. Our social media, Rico No Suave Show for Instagram, as well as our Facebook. Did I say Facebook? Yeah, Instagram and Facebook as well too. Then I also have if I may,
Yeah.
I do cook as well too. So I have a cooking show called Cooking with Rico Show, right? So if you like, I cook different foods, international street food. So Cooking with Rico Show, and that can be on YouTube. I just finished a Moroccan episode, put that up, and Moroccan chicken. So Cooking with Rico Show. Don't forget to put the show because there's other Ricos that's out there. And Instagram, Cooking with Rico Show.
You know what? It's like in a minute. I meant to actually, but I'm glad you've said that because I did read that. I didn't quite find it yet, but I'm going to look that up.
Please do.
Yeah. So just in about a minute or so, like what's that experience like cooking and doing a show with that?
Bringing all cultures together, from Pakistan, Mediterranean, Italian, Asian market as well too, African, all of that, Latin, of course, bringing all those cultures together and just words that you can't even pronounce of the dish is street food, what grandma cooks in the kitchen, and also what they cook out in the streets when they have the stands, hot dog stands, you know what I mean? So to say, hey, this is what we eat, this is our culture, get involved and go from there.
I love it, man. You're just film festivals and cooking shows and live streams and in person and virtual. You're doing it all, man. You're an inspiration. I'm really glad we connected.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of us. Like we had to line up all our schedules, but we made this work.
Yes, sir.
This was meant to be.
It was.
I look forward to continue building with you.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do a little T-shirt exchange after this.
Let's go. A little jersey exchange.
Yeah, jersey exchange.
Yeah.
Rico, thank you so much for coming on. I always
you.
give the guests the last word. It can be as short or as long, as deep or as shallow as you would like.
Yeah.
How would you like to end this podcast?
I have to say that, not very often, if you're ever in this industry, that it's not very often that you get a chance to talk to another talk show host in this type of environment. Normally we're split off and we're doing our own thing, but always keep the connection with the people that's in your industry. Help the other person grow. Always make sure that you take whatever you have and show them if they're slipping or if they're falling off a little bit, or help them and say, hey, I got this for you, right? If they're in their ways already, that's fine. We'll say, okay, here's what I can do to be able to enhance. What I mean by that is that there's people that can be going through the same thing that you're going through. You just need to help them. You need to be able to help them in a way that they are not lazy, but they're go-getters with a business-driven mindset. Easy. If you have that, people are going to love you. People are going to care for you more, if anything, because they want to see you grow. And once you start growing, go from there. Stay away from, keep your haters close. Always keep your haters close. Let them talk more about you. That's that outreach campaign we were talking about. Let them stay close, but also don't let them get involved with trying to cheat the code and try and cheat their way by trying to get to, the next level above you, and then, try to bring you down. Always keep them close, but also, have some restriction, and also continue with your vision. And that's the Rico No Suave Show way. Thank you, Mr. Sam, forever, Deborah.
Wow, I'm pumped.
Let's go. Let's go.
Rico.
Let's go.
No Suave, thank you so much.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you for having me, man. And thank you to the audience as well, too. Everybody that's actually watching. Which camera is it? Is it this one? Is that one? This one? This one? All right, whichever one. Hey, audience, thank you guys so much. And for real, make sure you guys continue to check out Sam. I say Forever Dever, but you know him as Sam Dever, right? The main podcasting host, but he's also talk show host. Make sure you continue to support him because he has a great setup. And I mean this. And hopefully you guys will be able to see this because when we get bigger, you better make sure you're supporting like you're supporting now. So continue to support because he's giving you guys great content, great guests, and support, of course, you know, the vision that he has as well as his team as well, too. So make sure you do that.
Thank you for that. And we're going to make that a clip. Thank you so And everyone, check out the Rico No Suave Show. You have great energy, amazing guests. I love what you do, man. I look forward to continuing the conversation.
Always friends, man. Forever Devil.
Rico No Suave. Thank you.
Man. Thank you.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the Sam Dever podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@the Sam Dever podcast, and give us a follow on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. See you soon.